We love them, and most of us wouldn't dream of entering a scenario without at least one trusty ally at our side. In fact, some of these companions can mean the difference between life and a horrible death. I'm Krabby Terror 8 from Out of Ammo, Out of Time, and today we are counting down the top 10 non-story allies we love the most. Now, for this list I ran a poll or two, so the result is not just my opinion, but more than 200 of you out there. Now, if you like what you see here, please hit that like and subscribe button. Okay, let's get into it and begin with number 10. Guard Dog. Yes, this trusty guardian ally has been around since the core set days. This doggo has gotten more than one of my investigators out of a tight spot by being able to tank and deal damage at the same time. That's a 1-2 combo that's hard to pass up. As the flavor text says, fiercely loyal, these trained canines make for a perfect companion. I certainly agree, and this doggo has definitely earned our love and a place in the top 10, which leads us to someone altogether more bookish. Coming in at number 9 is Witten Green. Yes, an ally who sounds more like a colour swatch than an ally. Witten is a hunter of rare books, and for any seeker like a Daisy or a Harvey, this ally is a must-have. Her ability to tutor up tomes and relics is good enough, but she also confers a +1 permanent intellect boost to your stats as a consequence, and can tank a very respectable 2-2. What more could a bookish seeker ever need? Well, maybe another seeker ally. Yes, at number 8 we have the mysterious Mr. Rook. Yes, the strange and mysterious Mr. Rook. An ally so good that he had to be tabooed. Mr. Rook allows you to instantly exhaust him and spend a secret to draw a card from your deck. Something seekers love more than life itself. Even drawing a weakness using Mr. Rook is not as bad as it seems, because it means you aren't drawing a weakness during your upkeep phase. On top of that, once his secrets are exhausted, he can tank 2-2 damage horror, and there are just so many ways to abuse the system with good old Mr. Rook that the love for this ally seems positively scandalous. As he says, "Are you sure you want to know? There's no going back." Yes, oh yes, Mr. Rook, we want to know. Speaking of knowing things, this next ally knows the future. Yes, at number 7 we have the wacky and wonderful Olive McBride. Yes, Olive is a popular Mystic ally, and for good reason. What's the reason, you ask? Well, it's technically known as Chaos Bag Shenanigans. Yes, Olive allows you to mess around with the bag, exhaust her and draw 3 tokens, and then choose 2 and ignore the other. Okay, right? Well, that's just the start. Once you use Olive in, say, a Jacqueline Fine deck and start throwing around grotesque statues and premonitions, the only option left for the Chaos Bag is to fall to its knees and surrender. Personally, I can't get my head around these interactions, as the Arkham DV reviews and clarifications start to sound like a theoretical physics thesis. Nevertheless, there's no denying that she's a real boost to Mystics and a nice horror soak. As she says, you must invest yourself in every spell, sometimes literally. We believe you 1000%, Olive, really, truly. By the way, speaking of investing 1000%, here is a Guardian ally whose gifts just keep on giving. That's right, at number 6 we have our second Guardian ally in the list, Greet Wagner. Greet is awesome in any Guardian deck. She's pricey, but worth it. First of all, you get a nice +1 strength boost, so far so good. Then her reaction trigger is truly awesome, as she brings a Roland-like effect to every Guardian, which just drives up the efficiency of fighting enemies. In other words, she's saving you at least 3 actions every game. In Roland, this is supercharged. With Mark Harrigan, this translates to extra cards as well. A great Guardian card and relatively new to the game. Okay, we are now up to the top 5. And speaking of being new to the game, this ally is brand spanking new and falls in at number 5, Jen Beauregard. Yes, Jen is from the Edge of the Earth expansion and is a dual class Seeker Rogue ally requiring 3 XP to use. This ally and Wayfarer gives you a +1 boost to intellect and agility, but it is her reaction trigger which makes her so popular. Jen allows you to move clues and allies around, which in an Ursula or a Trish or a Monterey Jack deck is pure gold. A great upgrade from a Milan or a Lola, Jen is certainly going to be found in a lot of upgraded decks moving forward. Speaking of being in a lot of decks, this next ally is found in every single deck of one particular investigator. Do you know who I mean? Yes, of course, it's the second doggo ally in the list. At number 4, the one and only Duke. Yes, Duke! Where would Ashcan Pete be without Duke? Nowhere. That's where. This loyal ally allows Ashcan to fight and investigate at a base skill of 4 and also has a move action built into the investigation skill. Wow! This makes Ashcan one of the best true solo investigators in the whole game because of Duke's fantastically versatile skill set. Importantly, Duke also starts in play, so no waiting for Duke to appear. This makes him a dependable ally by your side at all, well, nearly all times. Who wouldn't want a big dog at their side facing the Mythos? Well, unless you prefer a big man on campus. Yes, here we are at number 3 with Pete Silvestri. Yes, a Dunwich ally who is a mainstay companion of survivors everywhere. A permanent agility boost coupled with a horror heal makes Pete a great ally for those looking for a bit of horror soak that just never ever ends. In high horror investigators, he means they can soak whatever the Mythos throws at them for days, and in lower horror investigators, it's a real boon. Great combo with the Meat Cleaver, and even better in his upgraded version. It's hard to go past this big man and the comfort he brings, unless you need something altogether more academic. Yes, at number 2, we have the legendary Dr. Milan Christopher. Yes, Milan. A card so good it's also been tabooed. Milan is hard to pass up as a seeker because not only does he give you a permanent +1 intellect boost, but he also gives you an economy engine, creating resources with each successful investigation. Wow! As a seeker with Milan on board and dual-wielding magnifying glasses, no location is safe from clue discovery. The question then is what to do with all that cash. That's where those pump cards like Higher Education, Streetwise and Hyper Awareness kick in. Perhaps stronger in clue-heavy multiplayer than solo, there's no doubt that Milan is hard to pass up for seekers. Unless of course you can choose the next ally, who is our number 1 pick, as voted by you, dear viewers. Yes, the ally that can single-handedly help you win the game. I'm talking, of course, of the mighty, the legendary Leo DeLuca, the Louisiana Lion. Leo simply gives you more actions. If you play him on turn 1 of a 10-turn scenario, that means 10 extra actions over the course of the game. That's 3 extra turns. Amazing! That can mean a massive difference, and that's why Leo is so popular. He has some downsides, of course. He's super expensive in his basic version, requiring you to draw a resource in Action 1, and if he isn't drawn until the mid or the late game, his value diminishes somewhat. Having said that, in scenarios with short time limits like the Midnight Masks, and those indulging in true solo play, he's a huge value and hard to pass up. So there you have it, our top 10. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you like this list. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm Krabby Terror 8, and I'll see you next time for another top 10. Bye!